But so far, here in Venezuela, it isn't working at all. The maritime pressure is not creating compliance. The narrative did not fracture the Venezuelan state. The strike planning did not compel retreat. The failure of compulsion has not been acknowledged. The operations continued as if compulsion had been achieved, but it's not been achieved. The Venezuelan state simply moved before strikes reached infrastructure. Caracas didn't wait for the first air raid siren or the first crater in the runway courtesy of a US missile. Caracas sought Russian involvement while the United States was still operating in deniable space. The call came before escalation crossed into overt phase. And now the United States could still strike, of course. The strike would no longer be an uncontested one. The strike would be a strike against a defended state now. The defense would implicate Russia. The implication of Russia would transform the conflict into something beyond regime change. And so the stakes have shifted. The shift was already visible by the time Moscow made the hypersonic missile remark. The message was a very simple one, though. Escalation could be met in kind. The United States was no longer pushing into empty space. There was someone else in the room now, someone who could reach back. The maritime strikes showed Washington could kill without identifying who it killed. The region remembered what usually comes next. Runways, ministries, television stations, it's all about the oil. Caracas moved before that stage, though. Russia was already in the system, not symbolically, but literally, in the wiring, in the radar, and in the maintenance logs. That was enough. The Monroe Doctrine that the Americas was US business and everyone else could butt out had always been a presumption. The presumption that the United States could escalate here without meeting any opposition. Well, that presumption's no longer there, is it? The footage has continued nonetheless, so boats hit in the open water, hulls breaking, black smoke on the surface of the sea. The captions didn't change, the language didn't change, the official posture hasn't changed. The only thing that changed is the context around it. The calculation behind the release was different. The people who needed to recognise that have recognised it, and Caracas remains standing.